Now, the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, that's DIRCO, says negotiations are underway to ensure the release of South Africans who participated in the Global Sumud Flotilla. This comes as the Israeli Foreign Ministry said that they had deported 137 activists from 14 countries who participated in the 42-boat flotilla. South Africa was not one of the 14 countries. And in another matter, of course, the South African Police Service, the SAPS, has deployed a team of 5 seasoned investigators to France to assist in probing the death of South Africa's ambassador to France and former police minister Nathi Mthethwa, who died after falling from the 22nd floor hotel room in Paris last week. Let's get more now from SABC News correspondent Sophie Mokoena. Sophie, let's talk about what's happening at the moment. Firstly, in Israel, with those that have been detained from the flotilla. There are a lot of differing reports. We heard from DIRCO that they are fine, that they're being treated okay. But after reading a couple of reports this morning from some that have been released already, saying that the situation that they're in, most of those that have been detained are horrendous. So perhaps you want to talk to this.
Well, we saw on Friday how they were treated, many of those who saw the videos, particularly from the Minister of Defense who visited that prison, that he humiliated them, he insulted them, and he even indicated that they are terrorists and therefore they will be treated as such. And we know that people who have been arrested, Palestinians in particular, who have been arrested, who are in jail, different locations in Israel, when they leave those prisons, they do talk about the torture and the humiliation. And therefore, it's no surprise that there were news that even Greta, who was part of this group of people who wanted to break the blockade, was treated badly, and people calling on Sweden to do something about this. And those who were released on Saturday when they arrived in Turkey, they told terrible stories of what they experienced and what they saw in terms of bad treatment meted against those who were left behind. And that is why yesterday we saw those massive protests in Europe, in America, on the continent here in South Africa, in different parts of the world, calling for their release. Yes, DIRCO has issued a statement that some officials did communicate with Israel, and they saw those who have been captured by force by Israeli authorities and now detained in those prisons. But the truth of the matter is those who were there, were released much earlier, were able to tell a story in terms of what's happening behind those closed doors of prisons. And therefore, yes, perhaps they were not able to really communicate their story because they are still in captivity. We will get a better sense when they are released. Yeah. They will be able to tell us how they were treated. And for South Africans, it's no surprise that they are still there because, you know, Israel has taken a hard line against South Africa after South Africa went to the International Court of Justice to ask for the court to intervene in a matter between Gaza and also the Israeli authorities. And therefore, that hostility continues.
Yeah, and that's the reality. I mean, you speak about the conditions in which some of those that have been released speak to as being starved, having taken their medicine away from them, that they had to drink from toilets, that they were, sleeping in horrendous conditions. So there have been a lot of reports coming out from those that have been released. But as you say, the real story will only come once our South African, those that are being detained, are released. Do we know when? Is there an understanding at all as to when we may hear something in terms of their release?
There is no indication when will they be released, but DIRCO indicated that they have been communicating with authorities, and processes are underway to ensure that they get released and they are brought back home here in South Africa. But as I pointed out, that hostility, I guess Israel would want to demonstrate or send a message where it stands right now in relation to South Africa. And that Minister of Defense, he was recorded. He was all over, and I was even saying this is a clear evidence that can be presented before the International Criminal Court that's dealing with individuals that have been violating the human rights of Palestinians. But secondly, the International Court of Justice that still has to hear the South African case to declare whether what's happening in Gaza is a genocide, as the international law indicates. And therefore, we will hear those stories. He was captured. It's well documented. There's nothing that Israel can do to deny the fact that they treated them badly and they violated their rights. And they also violated international law because they were in international waters. It was not Israel territory.
All right. Sophie Mokoena, we're going to have to leave it there. I know we were going to talk about Nathi Mthethwa as well, the late minister, but what we'll do there is leave it. We have got the latest on him. We know that there are 5 high-level SAPS experts that have been sent to assist with this investigation, and we should get an update on that autopsy. That, as far as I know, is the latest on that particular story. So no doubt we will update you if anything else does come of that. SABC correspondent Sophie Mokoena speaking to us here on